Right now, several Dane County deputies will be part of a body camera pilot program when the department hopes to use the program for all of their deputies. Also, late winter or early spring, Sun Prairie's Jimmy the Groundhog gives his prognostication on what we should expect. And later, the interim superintendent of Madison Schools discusses the ongoing busing concerns and what parents should plan for in the future. You're watching News 3 Now at 6. More than 3 dozen Dane County Sheriff's deputies will soon have another piece of equipment to carry. Sheriff Calvin Barrett announced the launch of a body cam pilot program this morning, following in the footsteps of the Madison Police Department, who will also start a pilot program this year. Braden Ross spoke to the leaders in charge about what the programs will look like.
For years, people have wondered why Madison and Dane County officers don't wear body-worn cameras, but that's about to change.
We need to catch up.
Starting later this year, 32 Dane County Sheriff's deputies in the West Precinct will be equipped with body cams for the first time ever.
Our ultimate goal is to have every single one of our deputies, including those that are in the jail, outfitted with a body-worn camera after this pilot project has been completed.
Dane County joins Madison Police in the experiment. The Common Council approved a similar program in Madison last fall. Madison and Dane County represent 2 of the largest communities in the Midwest that don't use body cams.
I was at a national convention. They mentioned that we were one of the largest agencies in Wisconsin and didn't have body cameras. There was a gasp in the crowd.
The fight for body cams in Madison has been ongoing for years, with many opposing the idea for fear that the cams would be used to prosecute more people and could violate people's privacy.
Their arguments, quite frankly, are not based on sound judgment. I do think that there are people here who want to defeat the body-worn camera pilot program just for the purposes of defeating the program.
Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes says he hopes this pilot program will help convince the skeptics. But Barrett and Barnes agree it's not as simple as just putting them on and turning them on.
We're going to be looking at how many times does a community member want the camera to be taken off. We'll be looking at things like, was there a malfunction? We'll be looking at things like, did we have to go back and review the camera in order to improve the accuracy of a police report?
Those are things they both hope their pilot programs can help hash out. Both Madison and Dane County's pilot programs are set to start sometime this year. Reporting in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
And the Sheriff's Office wants to hear your thoughts before they launch the program. They're holding 2 listening sessions this month. They'll be on February 15th and the 29th at 6 p.m., both at the Town of Middleton Town Hall. It is Groundhog Day, and Jimmy the Groundhog made his annual appearance in Sun Prairie this morning, and we were there for his official prognostication earlier today.
So I am unable to see my shadow. In consideration of this, I therefore proclaim we will have early spring.
Sun Prairie Jimmy says it'll be an early start to spring after the overcast skies meant he did not see his shadow. This prediction comes after Jimmy saw his shadow a year ago. Before that, he predicted early starts to spring in 21 and 22. Sun Prairie Mayor Paul Esther says Groundhog Day has become a big event for the city of Sun Prairie and also helps local businesses.
500 people out here, and that just doesn't happen this time of the year. You don't have events that get people out like that, so it's fun to get them out. It's fun for the businesses to have them in their shops. It's just a good morning.
And this morning's event marked the 76th annual Groundhog Day celebration in Sun Prairie. As officials there say, Jimmy is never wrong. If the prediction does not come to pass, the message was simply lost in translation when passing along to the mayor. Well, this date also marks 9 years since this moment in Sun Prairie that went viral. Take a look.
He says that he didn't see a shadow, and so thank you. It will be an early spring.
Who could forget February 2nd, 2015, then Sun Prairie Mayor Jonathan Freund was presenting Jimmy the Groundhog during the annual ceremony. The critter bit down on his ear. Freund flinched, but he soldiered on, announcing that Jimmy had predicted an early spring that year. Let's head out to our patio now with the First Warn forecast and meteorologist Alex Harrington to see if he agrees with the groundhog. Alex?
I do. We concur. We have perfectly aligned forecasts there, Eric, at least in the short term. Look at how warm the First Warn weather team is predicting as we go out into next week. High temperatures approaching the lower 50s. Records this time of year are near 50 or just a little bit above 50, and our low temperatures our low temperatures next week are going to be warmer than our current temperatures right now. That's just how warm we're forecasting for just a couple days out. That record warmth is on its way. We've got 33 in Madison right now, 35 in Middleton, 34 to the south down towards the Stoughton, Edgerton area, and a lot of 33s, a lot of 34s, but still hanging on to 36 in Janesville and 35 in Boscobel. Planning your evening, the skies have been clearing out, partly cloudy conditions out there. Pleasant conditions, temperatures dipping down into the upper 20s to right around 30 degrees. But heads up, first to warn here on the potential for some fog as we go on later in the evening, going on into the beginning of your Saturday. That fog should burn on off, and then we should be looking at a very bright and sunny day coming up in Maine weather. We'll track that visibility with our visibility future track model. And also, we're going to talk a little bit more about the infamous 13 years ago Groundhog Day blizzard. We had 18 inches of snow in Madison, nothing like that out here. And the winter storms that we had 2 weeks ago, they were pretty relatively minor compared to this 3-day event, or at least equivalent. More on that. That's all coming up.
Alex, thank you. The Wisconsin Supreme Court is ruling that Minnesota Congressman Dean Phillips will appear on the ballot during April's presidential primary. Phillips had sued the Wisconsin Elections Commission and State Presidential Preference Selection Committee last month after Democratic leaders on the committee opted to leave him off the ballot. The congressman argued that the committee illegally ignored his request to be put on the ballot. Phillips is the only elected official running against President Joe Biden in this year's primary. Governor Tony Evers signing off on a 4% pay raise for building trades employees at UW-Madison and other universities of Wisconsin. The move comes roughly 2 months after the UW System Board of Regents approved a deal with Republicans in the state legislature to unlock funding for the raises. In exchange for the raises, the UWs will freeze the number of diversity, equity, and inclusion positions across its schools through the year 2026. For many Madison students and parents, the early starts they've experienced this year may likely continue next fall. Madison School Interim Superintendent Lisa Quisted tells us in a one-on-one interview that the bus driver shortage they've seen this year is likely to continue.
I would imagine that we are looking at somewhat of a tiered system again for 24-25. It will depend on the number of drivers that we can get.
The district expects to bring a plan to the school board in April. Before then, parents will be able to weigh in through a survey on the early start times. You can see more from our interview this Sunday at 10:30 on For the Record. Madison police say they arrested 2 people in connection with a shots fired incident that occurred earlier this week. A 19-year-old man and 18-year-old woman were arrested at a hotel in the 4800 block of East Washington yesterday. A gun was recovered during the arrest. It comes days after a report of shots fired in the 2100 block of East Springs Drive. Officers found evidence of the gunshots, but no injuries or property damage was reported. The man faces charges of being a felon in possession of a firearm and recklessly endangering safety. The woman was arrested on a probation hold. Meanwhile, a man is in custody after police say he armed himself with a gun and banged on his neighbor's windows. Officers were called to an apartment building in the 2500 block of Monterey Drive. It was just after 4 this morning when police arrived. They reportedly found the man standing in the entryway of the building holding a gun. Police say the man tried to run away but was taken into custody. No one was hurt. The man faces charges of going armed while intoxicated, disorderly conduct, and carrying a concealed weapon. The Wisconsin DNR says wolves in the state will remain on the federal endangered species list. This as the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced a national recovery plan for gray wolves in the lower 48 states. The DNR says it will continue to follow the guidance laid out in the recently approved wolf management plan to the extent consistent with the listed status. While the wolf is on the endangered species list, hunting and lethal depredation control are prohibited. It also remains illegal to shoot a wolf unless there is an immediate threat to human safety. The first round of voting for Madison Magazine's 43rd annual Best of Madison poll is now underway. You can nominate any of your local favorites in a wide variety of categories, and those categories include food, arts, entertainment, recreation, fitness, and much more. You can vote once per day in each category until the end of the month. And for more information on how to cast your vote, simply head to this story at channel3000.com. And while you're there, don't forget to nominate a veteran who is making a difference in their community. News 3 Now proudly partnering with Vortex Optics for its Spirit of Service honor. To nominate a veteran, first head to channel3000.com, find the story, then send in the name of a veteran making a difference and share their story. The winner will be announced in March. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, a new report finds premature births are on the rise in the U.S. Plus, why U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin was in town holding a roundtable to talk about the price of certain medications. We'll tell you which ones next.
You're watching watching News 3 Now at 6. Brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
Every single day, we help families that have been tragically impacted in truck crashes. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. Truck crash? Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's big pet care sale is going on now, and that means huge savings on the food, treats, and supplies you need to help keep your pets happy and healthy. Right now, get a free $15 gift card when you buy select Blue Buffalo dog food. Keep you and your pets safe when you're on the road with Blaine's Farm and Fleet vehicle batteries. And buy 4 tires from these top brands and get instant service credit savings equal to the price of 1 tire.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. It's the annual RV show and sale you don't want to miss at Interstate RV, February 2nd through the 4th. Great RV show pricing just up the road. Highway 51, Poinet.
Welcome to Badgerscape Design and Landscape. We offer a full range of landscaping services, from design to maintenance. Our professional team is dedicated to meeting all your landscaping needs. Call us at 608-295-1446 or visit badgerscapedesignandlandscape.com.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer, only on News 3 Now. On the next Wisconsin Huddle, Tyler Wall joins Zach at the desk and talks about the Badgers' top 10 ranking. Then Zach challenges the UW hockey standout to a game of checkers. Friday night at 6:30 on the next Wisconsin Huddle. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin hosting a roundtable in Madison today on the price of some medications. It was held at Access Community Health Center with doctors and patients, focusing on the impact of high asthma inhaler prices. Senator Baldwin, part of an investigation into the 4 biggest inhaler manufacturers in the U.S.
We want to pull back the curtain of secrecy in these companies and figure out why that is. Why are Americans being asked to shoulder this burden when patients in France or England or other countries that we compared are getting, their costs are, dollars to hundreds of dollars here.
The committee behind the investigation alleges they made $25 billion in profit just last year. A new report from the CDC finds that more babies in the U.S. are being born early. Between 2014 to 2022, the rate of preterm births rose 12%. Doctors consider preterm babies as those born before 39 to 40 weeks of gestation. The CDC did not speculate what might be driving the trend. In general, doctors don't know why some people give birth earlier than their due date, but babies born prematurely are at risk for short-term health issues like infections and breathing problems. An advisory panel to the FDA discussing how to make pulse oximeters more accurate for people with darker skin tones. The devices estimate the oxygen saturation of your blood and pulse rate by sending light beams through your finger. However, researchers have shown darker pigmentation can affect how the light is absorbed by those sensors, which can result in inaccurate readings. Still ahead, the Frozen Assets Festival making some big changes as the unseasonably warm weather continues. Plus, researchers at UW-Madison developing functional 3D printed brain tissue, how it could be used for treating neurological disorders in the future. And Alex returns for his complete forecast. We're back after a short break.
Want to instantly look more attractive, years younger, and even healthier? The solution is whiter teeth. Even teeth that are just a little yellow are a problem. They rob your appearance, make you look older, and can hurt your confidence. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking, and all of them stain your teeth and make them yellow. It's time you discovered Power Swabs, the fast 5-minute revolutionary treatment.
The first time I tried it, I was so surprised. My husband was so excited that he wanted to run out and get it. He said, "What have you been trying?" I said, "Well, I've tried this product called Power Swab." And he said, "I can't believe how white your teeth are." So from that point on, I've been sold.
My absolute favorite thing was how easy it was. It takes literally less than 5 minutes.
Power Swabs has made a really big difference in lifting the stains and making my smile more beautiful.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application and After 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Plus, unlike other whitening methods, Power Swabs will whiten natural teeth and remove stains from veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. Power Swabs are easier on your gums and cause less sensitivity.
I've used strips and trays, and they both gave me really sensitive teeth. With the Power Swabs, I've been using them for a week and nothing. I had hot coffee this morning and ice cream last night and no problems.
It's time to discover what you've been missing. Now, it's your turn to get started with Power Swabs.
I like my smile. I like my smile after finishing the Power Swabs.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
Call, go online, or scan the code on your screen right now to receive 50% off this Valentine's Day. You'll also receive the Power Swabs Stain Out Quick Stick, absolutely free. And in addition, you will also get free shipping. Order right now and take the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge. If your teeth aren't a full 2 shades whiter after your first application, simply return it and you'll get your money back.
Did you know that 53% of your home's heat is lost through the walls and attic? That's why your house is so cold every winter. USA Premium Foam Insulation in your walls keeps the cold air out and your warm air in. Our foam is up to 35% more efficient than traditional insulation, and it gets into places other insulations can't. We've made over 100,000 homes more comfortable. Stop freezing and start saving with USA Insulation.
USA Insulation.
Watching News 3 Now at 6.
3D printing has been used for things like orthotic insoles and prosthetic limbs, but scientists at UW-Madison's Weissman Center have now taken it a step further. Armand Rahman talked to the brains behind 3D printed brains. Is this a real thing, Armand?
Well, Eric, kind of. It's actually brain tissue. Researchers here are the first to 3D print functional and growing human brain tissue. And they're almost invisible to the naked eye, but these little rows of printed stem cells have a lot of potential because scientists were able to make the neurons in those cells grow on their own and communicate with each other. That means they can model and better study neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease and test drugs.
I feel very excited and proud of to be involved in this kind of project and to make it realized for in the field to hope other people can use our technology,
And tonight at 10, I'll go a little bit more into the process and some of the other functions that 3D printed cells could perform. Now, the idea of self-sufficient 3D printed brain cells can sound scary, but Jan stresses that they are far from printing a whole organ, and the tissue will mostly be used for study at first.
All right, looking forward to seeing that, Armand. Thank you. With the recent stretch of above freezing temperatures, organizers with the Frozen Assets Festival will be canceling a number of events scheduled for this weekend. After announcing they would be canceling the Frozen Assets 5K run walk due to a concern about safety on the ice, the Clean Lakes Alliance said today they will also be canceling the rest of the festival's on-ice events, and that includes kites on Mendota, snowshoeing, and pond hockey.
So we've moved the things that were on the lake to on land here at the Edgewater. We're still going to have UW Physics Lab, Limonology, what's colder than an ice cube, skating and hot chocolate, kids activities, and of course, Madison's largest winter workout, 10 o'clock Saturday morning.
The Alliance raises money to do projects throughout the community to protect our lakes and has also put $1.4 million back into the community and also provides lake education, advocacy, and citizen monitoring. These mild temps will continue on through the weekend. Alex now with his complete forecast.
Through the weekend and beyond, Eric here, all part of the 3 things that you need to know. First, a little patchy fog overnight tonight, then those 40s continuing on this weekend, clear out into next week. We could even sneak some 50-degree temperatures and the next chance of precipitation in the form of water, in the form of rain. Here are the temperatures here, folks. We'll do 40s this weekend, upper 40s to start off the next work week. Eclipsing here at about 53 degrees by the time we get to just about 1 week from now on Thursday. Even as these temperatures take a little bit of a dip as we go into the following weekend, normal high temperatures are right around 30 degrees, so that's 10 degrees still above normal. We got 33 in Madison, 34 in Oregon, 35 right now to the west in Middleton. Taking a look at the rest of southern Wisconsin, it's cooled down to freezing, 32 in Mineral Point, 33 in the Dells, and 30 in Camp Douglas, and normal high temperatures for this time of year are in the middle to upper 20s, so we're still above that. If you're planning any outdoor activities this evening, maybe taking the dog for a walk or maybe a stroll on State Street, temperatures in the 30s, so bundle up lightly in the winter gear there, not heavy winter gear. As we see these temperatures tumble tonight, again, we could be looking at a little bit of that patchy, dense fog as we carry on into the overnight period here, especially in those low-lying areas, the Wisconsin River Valley, as an example. And we can see that here. We can track it with our visibility future track model showing from Madison to Lone Rock to Dell to Mineral Point that we see a reduction in visibility. Then we see that spread out a little bit more as we head towards 6 o'clock in the morning. The good news is any patchy fog that we have to start the day burns off quickly by the time we get to noon, and then that should allow the sun to come out and those temperatures to warm up into the 40s. So we'll do upper 20s to right around 30 tonight for low temperatures. This is way above normal for this time of year, and so are the high temperatures, lower to middle 40s across all of southern Wisconsin, with that 42 being a pretty popular number out there. High temperature history. We go back to January 20th. Look at that. Our high temperature was 14. That's 13 degrees below normal. Look at the swing here as we head all the way out here to just yesterday, the 1st of February. We got up to 44 degrees. That's 17 degrees above normal. Just over the course of a few short weeks, we've gone from very, very cold to very, very warm. With those temperatures getting very, very warm, we'll be flirting with records as we go on into your Wednesday, going on into your Thursday, perhaps even carrying on into your Friday, with the next chance of precipitation being in the form of rain. Thanks, Bill, for taking us this picture here. A little bit of fog in the background here with some filtered sunshine. We will see the filter of the sunshine starting your Saturday. That should burn off with that fog. Let's go back to 2011, the Groundhog Day blizzard here. This is the studio. Buried cars here. Our patio buried under 18 inches of snow. We had snow drifts with 18-inch amounts of snow out there of 6 to 15 feet, folks. That's very different from the last winter storm that we had, where we didn't have quite that with the drifting, but the amounts were quite plentiful. So flashback to 2011, folks, at least with our temperatures in the 40s going into the 50s next week, we have no winter anywhere in sight.
And coming up in sports, we're live at the Kohl Center ahead of Wisconsin's big-time matchup against Minnesota. A border battle preview is next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Menards is your plumbing headquarters. We carry everything you need for your bathroom. Check out our great selection of over 50 Magic Woods Elements vanities. These vanities are built with superior quality and a unique style to complement your home. Get the Haverhill vanity for $349.99 after rebate. Put the finishing touches on your bathroom with a faucet from Moen. Moen products are built to last. This mica matte black faucet is $149.99 now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Soxbury Healthcare is here to help with your shoulder pain,
your knee injury,
that hip that bothers you, with your foot or ankle pain.
We focus on quality.
We focus on results.
And take time to listen.
So that your care is the best care.
For you.
You. You.
You.
For you.
We're here for you.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics. Listening, healing, caring. It's in our nature.
News 3 Now and Vortex presents Spirit of Service, honoring those who've made a real difference in our community.
Do you know a veteran whose actions have been a positive force in the area? If so, nominate them for the Spirit of Service Award.
Log on to channel3000.com, nominate a veteran, and tell us why they're a pillar in our community. A winner will be selected on March 11th.
Help us celebrate our hometown heroes.
The Spirit of Service Award, presented by Vortex.
The Monsters of Destruction are coming, and coming with a vengeance. Redneck Rampage against the Grain, War Wizard, Double Trouble, and the Veteran are ready to put on one heck of a show. Plus, Freestyle Motocross is back. X-Games rider Willie Elam and friends with action you don't want to miss. Day and night shows ready to blow your mind. Every ticket is a pit pass. Come early to meet the drivers. Take a ride in a real monster truck. Don't miss the Monsters of Destruction at the Alliant Energy Center February 3rd and 4th. Get your tickets now at monstersofdestruction.com.
Just when you thought the border battle couldn't get any bigger, Wisconsin and Minnesota added a little fuel to the fire that is this rivalry. Tonight is the first top 10 matchup at the Kohl Center between these two teams since 2006. Mike Hastings called this rivalry college hockey at its best. And when it comes to this series, you don't have to say anything to get these guys locked in.
It's no disrespect to any other team that we play on the schedule, because if you're not ready in this league, you're going to get your lunch handed to you repeatedly. But, you know, one of the first things that was mentioned in the weight room on Monday morning at 7:30 was that it was Gopher Week.
The rivalry kind of speaks for itself, and I'm sure all the guys feel that. I feel it, and yeah, you don't really have to wake up and kind of get yourself going. You're already kind of there.
Now, speaking of top 10 matchups at the Kohl Center, there will be one on Sunday as well when the Badger men's basketball team welcomes the Boilermakers in town for a top spot in the Big Ten standings on the line. And it's the 5th top 10 home matchup in program history for Wisconsin. And we all remember the last one, 2022 Badgers and Boilermakers, and Chucky Hepburn banked home the game winner. This time around, Greg Gard knows if they want to repeat history, they'll have to slow down big Zach Edey.
Two guys that are 4'8", and we tape them together, and we get to 7'4" or whatever. No, you can't replicate them because we don't have anybody that big. So I don't have anybody in the scout team. And it's not only just him; it's the other pieces they have. You know, they're a really, really good team, aside from Zach Edey. And then you throw him into the mix.
And don't forget to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle. Tyler Wall and I get you ready for that top 10 showdown with Purdue. Show starts in just a little bit right here on News 3 Now. Theme tonight for Badger men's hockey, whiteout at the Kohl Center. Puck drops at 7. Badgers going for their 4th straight win over that team up north. For now, live at the Kohl Center, Zach Hanley, News 3 Sports.
All right, Zach, always a little more buzz in the air when the Gophers are in town on the ice at the Kohl Center. Quick final check of the forecast.
Yeah, first we got to get a little bit of patchy, dense fog out of our system tonight. Once that burns off, when we get into Saturday, that's going to pave the way for the start of a streak of very, very warm temperatures. Just look at this. Look at some of our record high temperatures that we will be flirting with next week in the 50s, and rain next Thursday and Friday.
All right, Alex, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. We'll be back here tonight at 10.